At some point, I think that we need to take a break from Master Chief and Cortana because, quite frankly, these characters are the heart of Halo. But at some point, I think it would be very beneficial that 343 or Halo Studios looks elsewhere to tell a story, to make a game, and I think it could be really cool depending on what part of the timeline in Halo they choose from and what characters and part of the universe they want to explore if they ever do this. This is why I think that's why I'm getting jealous that Fable and Doom and Gears of War have all these great games coming up, and Halo is just still a bench warmer. It's been almost 10 years since we've had just one new Halo game in that time period of 10 years. We've had Halo 5 release in 2015, and ever since then, it was just pretty much nothing for a mainline first-person shooter Halo, except for Halo Infinite, which we know what happened there. So, I think it's time for them to really expand out, get other studios to work on different time periods of Halo, because the mainline Halo games like Halo 7, I understand, have to be done with care and focus, but not that it has been, because it's been honestly, mishandled and fumbled so many times. But that's why I'm thinking perhaps it's what they should do, almost like what they suggested, at least what could have worked with Star Wars, which was Acolyte. Like, go back to another complete different period in Halo and just start fresh with a whole new cast of characters and build the world building of Halo, right? And they've actually done something crazy with the upcoming Doom game. They put no multiplayer or any other aspects or modes into it. They wanted to focus only on the campaign. And while some people might be upset by that, I think it's going to be a banger campaign. I think when you have multiplayer and campaign both shipping in one game, a lot of studios, for some reason nowadays, are completely incapable of launching a game with both modes that are like feeling complete, that are bug free. So screw it. Why don't we just have one new Halo game with only a campaign or only a multiplayer set sometime thousands of years ago during the creation of the Covenant? There's so many interesting stories in Halo. After reading some of the books, knowing the timeline, knowing all the crazy war and action that happens all over the universe with, pre Halo game arbiters, with the original prophets, with all the betrayals and drama in the Covenant, but also just like the beginning of the Human Covenant War, right? I think we explored a little bit of that, obviously, in Halo Wars 1, and I think Halo Wars 3 would be a great example of exploring elsewhere outside of Master Chief, because I really wish 343 did this with Halo 4, because I think it would have taught them a lot of lessons instead of tainting a mainline Halo game. Like, my biggest gripe with Halo 4, 5, and Infinite is that they feel all like reboots. Like, they never really fully committed to one single plot arc without kind of scrambling to try to fix all the massive amount of negative feedback from the previous game. Right? So a game like ODSTs and Helldivers would be really cool. That was actually a pitch project. Like, I wish we knew more about all the pitch projects that they had over the years. And again, it still boggles my brain why Halo has not got more studios working on it. Like, it could be a massive franchise, just like Star Wars is, with a cinematic universe, with, TV shows, with multiple games, multiple studios working on said games, exploring different aspects. And also, screw it, I don't even care at this point. Like, a battle royale, like, it would probably be beneficial at this point to have a Halo battle royale, right? So, obviously, what 343's done with Halo Infinite was a disaster. Looking back, it's been has it been 3 years now? Three something, maybe 4 years of just disaster after disaster. And, obviously they shut off seasons, which we kind of sensed. And there's still updates on the game, quality of life things. Clearly, there's still a lot of people dedicated to working on the game to some extent, but they are going full on into the next Halo game, and there is some worrisome signals, in my opinion, that the game studio is going to be recreating Halo 1. There's been leaks, there's been obvious things that are happening behind the scenes. I think we've been pretty good with the leaks in the past like 5-10 years with Halo. Like a lot of the things have come out to be true, like Halo Infinite's troubled development with, Halo Studios or 343. Is there some of that? Like I'm not a huge fan of saying it because it's such a generic way of saying it, but like, is there woke stuff going on? If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. But is that something like a cause for concern? We won't know. We won't know. It sounds like hysteria until it happens, right? And then also there is concern that they're going to be remaking Halo 1. And for the love of God, I'm going to probably be hated for saying this, just like probably the premise of this video, which is getting away from Master Chief, getting away from Cortana. Can we for once just focus on a new story or a new game or experiment a little bit, right? I think Halo 5 was technically good experimentation, but I just want something that's respectful that's also experimenting or adding upon without changing the core theme. And I think I'm so sick and tired of Halo 1. Like, I really am. Like, it was a good game for its time, and you can still totally love it. For me, I think it's really drawn out. Like, it's kind of it's just overhyped at this point. Maybe I'm more of a Halo 3 kid, but like I think that Halo Infinite actually reached a really good balance with the multiplayer and the gameplay mechanics. I think that is very much agreed upon with some, differing opinions, but I think generally speaking that is the most well-liked game as far as like the gameplay mechanics go. So whatever they do, I hope that they keep on that. Anyway, I'm getting all over the place. It has been over a decade now since there's been anything with the Flood. I think over 15 or 16 years. I heard from a source that the team at 343, at least about 4 years ago, hated the Flood with a burning passion. None of the team leads wanted to do anything with the Flood. Now, with that Unreal Engine demo, with them building assets, saying it's not a tech demo, because they're going to be using those assets in a game, which I think, okay, whatever, it's a tech demo. I think that they are possibly going to be bringing the Flood back, even if it's in the form of remaking Halo 1. I swear to God, I hope they do not remake a Halo 1 game. Anyways, I think the biggest things that we could focus on is perhaps ancient times. And I think that this would be excellent world building while it also being so distant from the characters that we know thousands, hundreds, or thousands of years before they were even born, while humanity was still smashing sticks and stones together to make fire. I think that if we went way back to the ancient times of the Covenant, I really think this would be a fun idea. But also things like what happened with the Banished, what happened with these other mini civil wars or conflicts within the Covenant a long time ago. Because I think the thing I really just have never really... The Covenant being gone was important for the story, I suppose, but it's really hard to not miss them and to not think that that is an important aspect of the story. Like, I've never enjoyed these factions as much as I have like the Covenant. The Covenant is terribly iconic. You're never going to be able to replace them with the Banished. You're never going to make the Covenant feel... the Banished feel as threatening as the Covenant, And the absolute terror that the Covenant spread across the galaxy, I think, has really only been best shown and explained in actually the Halo TV show. Seeing cities turn to molten lava, seeing people fight for their lives, even people that survived the fall of Reach. Now, it's not many people, I think. My estimate was under 1,000 civilians did end up surviving, at least for a few weeks, despite what people often say, which is it was unbearable to live there. Dr. Halsey and a few other normal humans were inside the extensive cave system. There was a lot of caves, a lot of bunkers, a lot of places that the Glassines could not directly get immediately. There was even Master Chief went back to Reach 6 weeks after the fall of Reach. Read up on it. It is actually in the books. But anyways, I think that, obviously, I'm biased here. I think a game about Noble Six surviving Reach would be a freaking banger. I'm making a fan movie about Noble Six surviving Reach, and yes, it is still very much in development, But I think that the ultimate goal of the movie would be to make people happy, make people, fall in love with Halo again a little bit, and make it feel like it's just a fun story to tell. It's a fun fan story. But quite frankly, I've changed my opinions over the years. I actually think that a game about Noble Six surviving would be okay at this point. I know there's people that think it would ruin Reach, but I think my counter to that is if Noble Six suffered more than he would have if he just died, would that not have been a sacrifice? Like, what's more of a sacrifice? Dying immediately or suffering for months or even years on end on a planet, on a glassed planet, right? Having to survive that way, going through excruciating pain and fighting a guerrilla war against the Covenant. So, I don't know, but I think that, honestly, any other game than Halo 1 Remake would be... I would pick Halo 7 to be worked on over Halo 1, but I feel like the studio is trying to ramp up Halo to go to the PS5, to the Switch 2. There's been rumors of that, and I think that they're trying to reintroduce, put Halo's best foot forward to this idea that people will only buy the Switch, they'll only buy the Nintendo or the PlayStation because they're all married to their consoles, like Phil Spencer said, which I don't think is true. I've been married to Xbox my whole life until they ruined Xbox and took away all the exclusives. There was no reason to buy an Xbox. I don't even own an Xbox Series X because of this reason. In fact, I only play PlayStation 5 for a lot of games unless I want to play Halo, which I play on PC. I would love for Xbox to go back to its roots, but I do worry that we're going to be seeing more Master Chief, more harping on nostalgia, which is annoying. But I think there's so many cool stories. If you guys have any ideas on what you would like for us to explore in the next Halo game, let me know. Just thought I'd talk a little bit about some of the future of Halo because, well, summer's coming up, and hopefully we have some kind of teaser trailer, some kind of announcement that is not another Halo 1 remake. I swear to God, if I have to make news on another Halo 1 game, dude, we will have gone full circle, because that's what I started this channel with, is Halo 1 anniversary news. But anyways, you guys let me know what you think, and I'll catch you in the next one soon. Peace.